of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
We welcome you from the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio, on a beautiful night for baseball. It's the Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds. It is Game 2 of this 3-game series. Brewers trying to keep pace with the Chicago Cubs. Got a big home run yesterday from Orlando Arcia, a game tire. Unfortunately, a big home run from Billy Hamilton, his first career walk-off, his first home run as a right-handed batter all year, and the Reds beat the Brewers yesterday. So with the loss yesterday, the Brewers are now 3.5 back of the Cubs in the division race. Cubs lost yesterday as well against the Pirates, and the Brewers lost a game to the Colorado Rockies, who beat San Francisco yesterday at Coors Field. That's where it stands as we get ready to play ball today. 24 games left on the schedule. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minard in just a moment. Well, the Brewers are locked into this race right now, and they're putting a guy on the mound tonight who has been a road warrior. Zach Davies has been as good as it gets in all of baseball away from Miller Park.
And even in the beginning of the year when Zach was kind of struggling a little bit, but on the road, 8-1, a 213 earned run average, and it's all about command for Zach. I mean, it's not the overpowering stuff. He's got that two-seam fastball working, the comeback sinker, curveball, changeup outstanding. The last earned run that he's allowed on the road was way back on July 6th. That covers 5 starts. That was against the Cubs. He's gone 36 and 2/3 innings without allowing an earned run on the road. Outstanding work from Zach Davies.
Well, how about some context here? You take it back the last 30 years. You remember Oral Hershiser's great run of 59 consecutive scoreless innings. 41 of those came away from Dodger Stadium. Zach Davies has a chance to catch and pass Oral Hershiser here tonight if he puts up 5 scoreless innings this evening. Well, another big piece to the puzzle is Zach Davies works on the road, bringing Sophia Minard, and his manager is certainly willing to talk about home and road splits. What do you have to offer today, Sophia?
Well, yeah, as you guys said, road warrior is probably the best explanation to describe the splits for Zach Davies' season. As you said, 8-1, the earned run average just over 2, and Zach did make a start all the way back in April when he was still looking for his first win of the season here at Great American Ballpark. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs, and since then it's been such a different story for Zach on the road. So much so that Davies has changed his pregame routine at home to try to kind of recreate the success that he's had on the road. At home, he comes out 10 minutes earlier, goes back into the dugout, kind of sits for a bit to try to allow that sort of first inning gap that he has here on the road. That's really helped him settle in, especially in the first inning. So manager Craig Counsell weighed in on what the splits mean for Davies.
He's had a lot of success, so I think and the difference was pretty big, and I think that that leads all of us to try to find out how to shrink or how to do it the same the other way. Part of it is probably just a little bit of, it's just Zach's the guy that's got a really weird number this year, because we're having a hard time finding anything else different. So I don't try to make too much out of it, because next year we'll probably be talking about the opposite with somebody and having a hard time figuring it out. But as far as this year goes, I'm glad we're on the road tonight.
It could be another career milestone for Ryan Braun tonight with his home run yesterday. He sits at number 299, looking to join the exclusive 300 home run player club. He could be the 12th active player to do it. That's coming up next here.
hits, including his 14th home run of the year. That was career home run number 299 for Ryan Braun. He did that as part of a 4-run inning. This is how the inning began. And now Braun is a home run away from a significant milestone. A home run away from 300. He and Robbie Cano right now at 299 career home runs. Ryan Braun homering throughout his career about every 18 and a half at-bats. Is this going to be the night he gets there? Brewers need to get back to the win column. It's the Brewers and the Reds. Zach Davies on the mound tonight from Great American Ballpark. Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Great American Ballpark on the banks of the Ohio River, home of the Reds. And the Brewers trying to get back in the win column after a walk-off loss yesterday. It's a beautiful night for baseball tonight on a Tuesday. And the Potawatomi batting order for Craig Counsell tonight has Eric Sogard leading off. Neil Walker hits second, despite a split lip. Ryan Braun will be in the 3-hole. In the middle goes Shaw, Santana, and Vogt. VR, Arcia, and Davies will round out the starting 9 that will match up against Robert Stevenson, who has been pitching well lately for Cincinnati.
Yeah, came off the disabled list on August 12th, and in August 3-0 in 4 starts and a 222 earned run average, making his first career start against Milwaukee. He has worked 3 times out of the bullpen against the Brew Crew.
You see the numbers for Stevenson. A lot of those early runs hurt the ERA. Reds have liked what they've seen from Stevenson, and as you can see, has a big fastball. He's already hitting 95 miles an hour. Pitch by pitch, his stuff plays really well. It is very highly touted from scouts who have seen him and grading out very well. It's just the command at this point. He's a guy that the Reds are hoping could pop. The more he's in the big leagues, hoping he could emerge as a potential 3 or a number 2 starter in the major leagues.
They got to wait him out. He does walk some batters, had a season high 7 back early in the season.
Sogard on a curveball, he pops it up, and over to make the play is Suarez for the first out. That's how the night begins for Robert Stevenson.
Well, let's check out the Menards Reds defense, one of the better defensive teams in all the National League. 3rd best in the NL, only 66 errors committed. You got Duvall, Hamilton, and Schebler. Suarez, Cozart on the left side. You got Scooter Gennett, Joey Votto on the right side. And once again, back behind home plate, Tucker Barnhart. Good, solid defensive catcher.
Now the star from yesterday, the Labor Day affair here at Great American Ballpark, was Billy Hamilton. Hit the walk-off home run. And it was a shock to all. He had not homered as a right-handed batter all season. And he turned around Josh Hader, who's been pitching so well for the Brewers. A couple of bad outings in a row for Hader. The disappointment of giving up a walk-off home run. You're hoping Hader bounces back. Probably won't see Hader today. I would imagine he'd have a day, maybe two off. But this home run yesterday was how the game ended in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Yeah, kind of a jaw dropper right there. You don't expect that out of Billy Hamilton. Actually, 97-mile-an-hour fastball in off the plate. Turned it around.
Neil Walker bats second today for Council. And Walker, who was thrown out at the plate by Hamilton yesterday in the first inning, had a collision. His face with the mask of Tucker Barnhart. And Walker splitting his lip. Did not require stitches, but he's got that butterfly bandage on there to keep it put together. He's got some swelling.
Yeah, Barnhart had that mask on that play at the plate. Back in the old days, they flipped the mask off. Not so much anymore.
2-2 to Walker, and he rips one foul. The Brewers struggled to score runs yesterday. They did score 4 in one inning, but this was early, looking like maybe a big inning brewing for the Brewers. But then Hamilton made the catch, and then he throws out Walker, trying to score the run. And as he's coming in, face mask against face.
Kind of a headbutt. That wasn't intentional, but it left a mark, that's for sure.
Impressive that Walker stayed in the game, and he's back in there tonight. Down he goes on strikes. And 2 gone to start this one for Robert Stevenson.
Stevenson has a terrific slider, and he's been using it quite a bit already today, striking out Walker on the slider.
Oh, he's a kid with all the stuff. He's only 24 years of age. Reds made him their first-round draft pick in 2011.
It's a long time ago. Finally starting to come into form and putting together some pretty good starts.
High school pitcher when he was drafted, making his way through the Reds minor league system. Here's Ryan Braun, takes strike 1. Braun at 279. He hit his 14th homer of the year last night. No opposing player has hit more home runs in this ballpark than Ryan Braun. He loves hitting here. And now a chance to get to 300. Every home run he hits sets a new Brewers franchise record for homers. He passed Robin Yount last inning. 299, or last year I should say, 299 career home runs for Braun, and he swings and fouls that one away, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, I talked to him around the batting cage, and against my better judgment, I did ask, what do you attribute your success here? He just says he sees the baseball extremely well. It's got a good batter's eye back there, the backdrop. And he said the home runs, this is one of these ballparks where you really don't have to get all in one to knock it out of the ballpark. So he feels comfortable here. Of course, a lot of hitters do.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Braun. And he tries that breaking ball again, that sharp downward slider. 87 miles an hour.
You got a change up to go with it. Occasional curveball. A fastball that'll sink and cut. All matter of throwing strikes for this guy.
Well, if he does put it all together and gets command of all of his stuff, he is going to be a big winner in the big leagues. He's got all the makings. 2-2 the count. 2 outs in the first. We're just underway from Cincinnati. And Braun lays off. There is ball 3. 3-2 now on Ryan. Ryan Braun and Robbie Cano sitting at 299 career home runs as we interplay tonight. Robbie Cano and the Mariners are going to face Justin Verlander tonight. Verlander will be making his first start as an Astro. Could have 2 players get to the 300 number this evening. Braun hits that one hard into right field. Schebler is right there. And the inning is over. Braun hit it like a bullet, but Schebler runs it down 3 up and 3 down for Stevenson, and now Zach Davies putting a road scoreless streak on the line in Cincinnati tonight. On Brewers TV, great to have you with us. Reds are coming to bat now, and Zach Davies on the mound for Milwaukee. Brian Price just got a contract extension for next season. His Potawatomi Reds batting order with Hamilton, Cozart, and Votto at the top. Duvall, Jeanette, Suarez make up the middle with Schebler, Barnhart, and Stevenson rounding it out. Same lineup as we saw yesterday. And Davies goes to work. Zach Davies has been so good in the second half. He has been so good on the road. His 29th start of the season, Rock, and he is tied for the major league lead in wins. Slow roller to short. Arcia rushes it over to first with Hamilton running and 1 man out.
Yeah, let's check out the Menards defense for Milwaukee. Got 3 changes out there from yesterday. You got Eric Sogard getting a start out there at second base. That moves Walker to first. He started at second base yesterday. It was Pena behind home plate. Stephen Boat gets the start here tonight. Your Menards Brewers defense.
Craig Counsell putting as many left-handers and switch hitters as he can in the lineup, and Sogard gets the call at second base with Walker over at first. Davies, strike 1 to Zach Cozart. All-star shortstop for the Reds, Zach Cozart. All-star starter, as a matter of fact.
And really having a terrific season, batting average, and has always been a very good defender. Hitting a lot of home runs this year, 17 of them. That's a good curveball from Zach. I mean, he's been really dealing as of late. Earned run average all the way down to 385. When you consider back on July 14th, his ERA was over 5. 5.08. That covers 9 starts, and the ERA now down below 4. That's some pretty good work.
Now, his only road loss was against the Giants. That was a 2-0 Brewers loss. He pitched well against San Francisco. There's a little roller over to third, a little broken bat ground ball, and Shaw makes the play for out number 2. Well, there's a lot of directions you could go with Zach Davies, and we'll go those directions throughout his start tonight. But let's look at his last 13. How about 9 wins in his last 13 starts and a 2.43 earned run average? This goes back to the start after he allowed 7 earned runs in 5 innings against the Pirates. That was one of his worst starts of the year, and since that time he's found a new gear.
Yeah, throwing strikes early in the count, so he doesn't have to throw strikes late in the count. He's been working all of his pitches extremely well. A lot of confidence in everything. Yeah, but Zach early in the year was picking up wins, although he really wasn't pitching all that well. The offense was picking him up quite a bit. Remember, You know, run support numbers are off the charts for Zach Davies early in the year, but that's not been the case as of late. He has won some low-scoring, close games.
Facing Joey Votto, he misses inside. Votto having a year comparable to his MVP season of 2010. Monster offensive season this year for Joey Votto.
And one of the few guys that has really had a lot of success against Davies, a .353 batting average against Zach.
Votto with 34 homers, 93 driven in, and Zach Davies with that comeback sinker in there for a strike. He's got good stuff tonight early. We're seeing Davies use his full arsenal already against the Reds. He tried to get him with a cut fastball that time, and Votto takes a ball. 3-2 the count. 24-year-old Zach Davies, first full season in the big leagues, and tied with some heavyweight pitchers at the top of the wins leaderboard. Votto into center field, and that's going to bounce for a base hit. VR playing very deep in center field, and Votto is aboard with a 2-out hit.
Yep, and doing the right thing. 2 outs and nobody on. You don't want to try a shoestring catch and have it go all the way to the wall and have Votto end up at third base. You know, keep him at first. He's out of scoring position. And did the right thing. Played it safe. Give up the single, not the extra base hit.
So Votto with a 2-out single. That'll bring up Adam Duvall. Brewers were retired in order in the first inning. Stevenson with a strikeout. First hit of the ball game, Votto, and Duvall takes a ball low. Home plate umpire tonight is Chad Whitson, up from the minor leagues. Mike Winters is the crew chief. He's over at first base. There's Mike. Marty Foster and Mike McClinsky are the base umpires. Duvall down the right field line, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another big season for Duvall. 31 home runs, 91 RBIs. You figure he's going to get to 100. Pretty good protection in that lineup behind Joey Votto. You figure Votto's not going to swing out of the strike zone, and because Duvall is back there behind him, Votto's going to get some strikes to swing at, particularly against left-handed pitching.
Well, Duvall made the All-Star team this year. He was a big acquisition for the Reds, coming from the San Francisco Giants. That was a trade 2 years ago. That was the Mike Leake deal. Giants in a pennant race and bringing one of their own back home in Adam Duvall. Duvall is from the University of Louisville, a Kentucky native. A wave and a miss. Davies strikes him out to end the inning. And a good start for Zach Davies. Gives up a 2-out single to Votto, but puts up another scoreless inning on the road. We head to the second.
Just joined the team today. He had been signed as a minor league free agent on August 19th, spent 9 games in AAA with Colorado Springs, and just joined the team here today. And he does have big league experience, most recently coming in 2015 with the Chicago Cubs. Over 4 seasons, spent time with Detroit, Boston, and Baltimore. But the big reason why he's here, 27 for 28 in career stolen base attempts. So manager Craig Counsell said it's obviously a limited role. There could be some defense in there as well. But he said the biggest thing for Barry, he has experience doing it. And really with that role, he said it's the difference between forcing something to happen and understanding why you're in the game, and just the situational execution that he can be so helpful with.
All right, Sophia, thank you. As Travis Shaw sends one to right center, and Schebler is there to make the play. He's a very interesting study, Quentin Barry, because he has been added to postseason rosters for the exact same reason he's on the Brewers roster right now, to try to help them in September. And remember, as long as you're in the organization by September 1st, you are playoff eligible. So that could be a route the Brewers would go with Quentin Barry. He was in a World Series in 2012 as a member of the Tigers. He was in a World Series in 2013 as a member of the Red Sox.
Yeah, with September call-ups, you can afford to have a guy that is strictly a base-running specialist. I mean, not just to steal bases. Craig Counsell was adamant about that. You pinch run for him, you get him at second base. Base hit, pretty much a foregone conclusion he's going to score. So in a must-score situation, you're probably going to see Barry in there a number of times this year.
Well, it does give the Brewers options as well. If you do make it to the postseason, you can shorten your roster a little bit. You don't need as many starting pitchers. And it will be interesting to see what happens with Quentin Barry.
The Brewers do have other guys that have pretty good speed on the bases. So just adding another element to that.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Santana. Santana had a hit yesterday and takes a ball down and away. Brewers only scored in 1 inning. That was the 4-run inning, home run by Braun, and then the 3-run home run by Arcia. That was in the 7th yesterday. 5-4, Reds won the game. Reds had a 3-run 6th inning. And Santana takes a call at strike 3. Down he goes. 2 outs in the inning.
Man, that was a hanger, a good pitch to hit, but took it. Hey, there's still time to eat fresh and score big with the Fan Favorites ticket giveaway from Subway restaurants. For every $25 you spend at Subway, you'll earn a free Brewers ticket. Visit your local Subway restaurant for details.
Stephen Vogt now with 2 away. Stevenson has good command early. That's not a good sign for the Brewers. A guy with his stuff, if he does have command, he can be tough to handle. Reds are hoping they are watching a pitcher now in his age 24 season who is starting to figure it out and can emerge as a rotation option for next season.
They're looking for some starting pitching. The Cincinnati Reds, that's been a big problem for them over the last couple of years. That big kid, he's got a good arm. Basically a 4-pitch pitcher. You're not going to see too many curveballs tonight.
2 balls, no strikes, and a fastball right by Vogt. 2-1 to count.
And 94. I mean, cruising speed about 93, 94 miles an hour, and he can reach back and give you a little extra when he needs it.
You see the numbers on Vogt. The splits his time in Oakland versus his time here with the Brewers. Tonight, Vogt is playing in his 25th game as a Brewer. He's been very productive here. He's gotten back to his all-star form as far as his swing goes, hitting over 300. He's hit for power. Missed a month of the schedule with a knee injury. Leans out on that one, sends it into deep right field. Schebler is right there, and a 1-2-3 inning for Stevenson. We have home second. Reds are coming up.
Cincinnati and MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Here we go to the home second. Reds are coming to bat. Scooter Gennett, the former Brewer, will lead the way for Cincinnati. Zach Davies deals strike one. Has good command early, does Davies. Gave up a 2-out single to Votto. Came back to strike out Adam Duvall in the first inning, and Gennett asked for and is granted timeout. He knows Davies can get quick on the mound. Davies likes to get in that quick rhythm, and you'll probably see a few hitters step out on him here tonight. So what do you do to counter? You throw him a big fat curveball for a strike.
Yep, he got the benefit of a call in the first pitch, and then you just drop a curveball in on him.
You asked for that, Scooter. And now he leans out on a changeup, just does foul it off.
So already in this at bat, we've seen 3 different pitches from Davies. It's kind of why he's been so good, anything at any time, and proving it to Gennett.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. Gennett takes a ball inside. Scooter's name was in the news yesterday. JD Martinez with 4 home runs in a game in Los Angeles. The Diamondbacks outfielder. The second player this year to hit 4 homers in a game. Gennett did it earlier this year in June. I was asking Scooter about that. I said, hey man, are you giving in a lot of interviews today about JD Martinez? He goes, you will forever and always be number 17. The 17th player in Major League history to hit 4 homers in a game.
And that's something. Scooter Gennett.
And JD Martinez will be 18. I asked Scooter, are you going to wear number 17 the rest of your career now? He had no idea what I was talking about. He had no idea he was the 17th player to hit 4 homers in a game.
Yeah, we had heard that Scooter's bat was in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know, but we thought it was the Reds Hall of Fame.
The slow roller out to second base. And Gennett is retired on a 4-3 ground out.
And when asked about it, he said, well, you got to go a little bit further east. That Hall of Fame, the one in Cooperstown, that bat is in there. I'm surprised that a guy would give that bat up.
Historic moment, and 4 home runs in a game is a Major League record. No one's ever hit 5, but Scooter Gennett is on the list.
Matter of fact, he told that story to Ed Cedar. Eddie went to the Reds Hall of Fame. He said, I couldn't find your bat.
It's the other Hall of Fame.
It's not in that one, Eddie. That's good.
Yeah, it is good. Here's Eugenio Suarez. Well, you're happy for Gennett. He found a home here. He's found the right kind of mix and culture here in Cincinnati, and maybe more importantly than anything else, he's found playing time. You know, this is a team that is down, and once Gennett started hitting, his bat basically kept him in the lineup. That was probably not going to be the case in Milwaukee, so he found a spot where he's comfortable, and he's got a chance to be the everyday second baseman here for the next few years, you would think.
It just wasn't going to be able to fit the bill for a utility player.
There's a bouncer to third base, and Travis Shaw across the diamond for the out. 2 ground ball outs for Davies here in the second.
Yeah, 4 overall, and just the opposite of what Stevenson's been doing. Everything been strikeouts and fly balls, so two different philosophies.
This is what we're tracking tonight, the updated numbers for Zach Davies. So he just passed Javier Vasquez. This is going back to 78, so the last 30 years, when the record keeping on scoreless inning streaks for starters is more detailed. But Orel Hershiser, the year 1988, when he had 59 consecutive scoreless innings to set the Major League record, 41 of those were on the road. And while Davies has given up runs at home, he has this long streak of unearned runs going on the road this year. Even though he took a loss in San Francisco a couple of starts ago, he gave up 2 runs. They were both unearned. There was an error in that game.
Yeah, that streak's going to be put to the test in his ballpark against his offense.
I tell you, you look at Zach Davies and what he's been able to accomplish. He's sitting with 16 wins, He is tied atop the major league lead for victories by a pitcher, and some pretty big company he joins as well. And then you start putting him in a class with Oral Hershiser for a scoreless inning streak, especially on the road, which is very difficult to do. Very impressive for a 24-year-old. First full season in the big leagues.
Not too many with better poise than Zach Davies, and you can see the results that he has been able to get so far this year. Look at the names that he's in lockstep with. 16 wins. That leads baseball. Zach Greinke, Clayton Kershaw.
Davies deals, and a shift is on, but through the shift, Schebler bangs one into right field. A 2-out single. Back-to-back innings with 2-out hits for the Reds. And Schebler defying the shift. He hits it right through.
That was a slider right there, cut fastball. Schebler had all kinds of problems yesterday with the Chase Anderson changeup. And Davies trying to give him something else, and he's able to hit it hard into right.
So Schebler is on. Davies will work from the stretch. He'll face Tucker Barnhart now, the Reds catcher. He had a big hit yesterday. Part of a 3-run inning. He swung away on a 3-0 pitch, and he drove in 2 runs with a double. That was part of that 3-run 6th inning. Barnhart known more for his defense than his offense. That's why it was a little bit of a surprise that he had the green light 3-0, but he's hitting 8th in the lineup.
Yeah, why not in front of the pitcher? He'd take the chance. Dusty Baker let him swing, and he came up big. That was a huge hit.
Barnhart, a .265 hitter coming in, has 5 homers, 35 driven in.
Did I say Dusty Baker? I did, didn't I? Brian Price. I'm sorry.
I knew what you meant, partner.
Yeah.
And we just saw Dusty Baker.
Right. So, yeah, it wasn't Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker wouldn't care if he swung 3-0 or not. Kind of dating myself. How long has it been since he's been here?
Just a few years. 4 or 5, something
Dusty
like
Baker.
that.
How about that?
Did you say something, partner?
We saw him on the homestand.
Well, when you think of Reds managers, what's the first name that pops in your mind?
Lou Piniella.
I got Sparky Anderson.
Lou Piniella. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I got Lou Piniella too, throwing the base.
Yeah.
That 1990 Cincinnati ball club, that famous Reds team.
Yeah, Sparky's the guy, though.
Sparky managed the big red machine here.
Speaking of which, Joe Morgan's in the home television booth tonight.
Yeah, good to see Joe at the ballpark again.
Makes an appearance every now and again.
2 balls and a strike on Barnhart. Runner goes, a swing and a miss. Vogt's throw to second is late. And a stolen base for Schebler. The swing and miss makes it a 2-2 count on Barnhart.
Well, let's see if the Brewers elect to continue to pitch to Barnhart here. Now the first base is open with 2 outs. Pitcher on deck.
Good curveball from Davies. He's got a good hook going tonight. Runner at second, 2-2, and that one is low. He didn't bite on the curveball that time. Full count. Can almost see the wheels in motion with these 2 competitors. Barnhart going through the mental pitch sequence. Davies the same. Davies doesn't give you much by way of expressions on the mound. He is stone cold.
Yes, he is.
3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Change up from Davies.
Boy.
And Vogt got whacked on the follow through. Strikeout to end it. Beautiful changeup by Davies. His second punch out. We go to the 3rd inning. visiting redcross.org or texting the word Harvey to 90999. By doing that, you make a $10 donation, and your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. Astros are going to have Verlander on the mound tonight in Seattle. That'll be something to follow this evening out on the West Coast. These tight races, the Brewers are right there in it. This is going to be a fun 24 days. And with so many teams involved, the team that can get hot is probably going to be the one standing at the end of the year. VR right off the end of the bat. That's going to fall, a base hit. Jonathan VR muscles one into left field, and it's the first hit of the game for the Brewers.
Yeah, that's something he's been doing a much better job of lately, staying on the baseball, not necessarily trying to pull it. And two-seam fastball up and away right off the end of the bat and dumps it in front of Duvall. The leadoff base runner from Milwaukee, one with good speed at that. Tucker Barnhart, outstanding throwing out base runners. How about that? Can you fit any more in your mouth?
Words are needed. Keon Broxton trying to set the double bubble record. That's a lot of sugar in there. He's going to need to run that off in a little bit. I mean, look at him go. Don't spit it out, Keon. It's just disgusting. Baseball players are the most disgusting, superstitious people in the world. Hilarious, too. Well, that'll give us something to watch.
Try blowing a bubble with that.
You got to work that down, too.
Yeah.
You know, you got to. He's muscled through. He's like Clint Hurdle. He needs Clint Hurdle jaws.
That's hard work.
Look at him. He's putting another one in. Runner goes, and a line drive to right. This is going to turn into a double play. It's a hit and run or run and hit. Either way, VR is out, and two quick outs with one swing of the bat as Arcia lines one to Schebler.
Yeah, he was able to get it to the opposite field, but not able to get it on the ground. That's that big hole between first and second, trying to shoot one into right field, got under it. Easy double play for the Reds.
So two outs. Here's Davies now, the Brewer pitcher. You don't see many hit and runs in the big leagues these days, but the one guy that Counsell will do that with is Orlando Arcia. That time it burns the Brewers.
Just trying to get something going. Craig Counsell a little concerned about his offense. They scored 4 runs all in 1 inning in yesterday's game. Trying to get the defense moving around, get something going, maybe spur on some offense.
Two-two to Davies. The Brewer pitcher. How's Keon doing over there? Oh, he's struggling, man. Look at him.
Is there a record for the most pieces of gum at one point?
How much torture do you look at? His eyes are watering. I mean, why? That'd be my question. Why?
Now we know there's an official cheesesteak record.
He's gagging. Oh boy.
You gotta do something.
Davies draws the walk. All right, rally gum for Keon Broxton. Keep working on it, Keon. You can do it, man. Push through. Isn't it amazing? You've grown up in a baseball dugout. You were in a bullpen your whole life. I mean, the stuff that you guys do and that you assign importance to is unbelievable.
Yeah, right. Gotta have fun, you know. These are kids. I think maybe you and I should grab some gum, try that up here one day.
I think a lot of fans would love that.
Yeah, right. I got about 6 pieces of gum here.
I got one. There's a shot, and off the glove of Votto. It rolls out to Jeanette, who makes the play to end the inning. Oh, Sogard hit a shot. Votto took the heat off it, and Jeanette was right there to clean it up. That'll go 3-4-3 on the putout. And Sogard robbed of a hit. Inning is over. Keon Broxton still upright, we hope. By JD Martinez last night. Might remember that Darnell Coles is the connection between JD Martinez and Scooter Gennett. He had been the hitting coach for both of those players, and he talked a lot about approach today at the batting cage. The Brewers hitting coach was talking about JD Martinez and how he thinks right field. That's a ball driven into center field by Stevenson, and back is VR. It's in and out of his glove. Stevenson into second with a double.
Yeah, he got there, just wasn't able to hold on. Well, the Brewers have VR into center field for offense, and they just rolling the dice, hoping that he doesn't get too many difficult plays. And that was one that he should have had. He had it in his glove. It popped out. That'll be a double for Stevenson. Hit that one hard. You can see how shallow VR was, but he got there. In and out of the glove.
Well, normally VR plays deep, but with the pitcher at the plate, they brought him in. And that's going to be an E8.
It's a tough error.
I would say that is a little out of the ordinary for an outfielder.
Yeah, no kidding. I think that's a double.
Here's Hamilton. He drops a bunt down. Davies got to hurry. Throw to first is just in time. That'll be a sacrifice bunt for Hamilton. And he puts a runner at third base with one out.
Well, sacrifice bunts often become base hits for this guy. Any kind of a bobble or bad throw, he's going to be safe with his speed. Yeah, I can't imagine why you would give VR an error on that. I mean, he had a long way to go. I'm not sure how far he went, but it was a long way. Tough scoring decision right there.
Runner at third for Zach Cozart now. One man out. And a pitch in the dirt. One thing Counsell did say today before the game, it was interesting. and he's right, but this is the 6th start in center field for VR, and he really hasn't been tested. He hasn't gotten much in center field other than the routine.
Well, that was a tough play. There was a ball hit by Barnhart out in the gap out there in left center. Wasn't able to get to. Of course, I don't think anybody gets to that one yesterday.
Well, that very question came up today prior to the game with Craig Counsell, and the discussion of whether Keon Broxton might have made the catch on Barnhart, or was it just a lack of experience for VR. And Counsell didn't shy away from that answer either. He went very scientific. They've been looking at a lot of projections, and I think the ultimate projection on all of this is that Counsell and the Brewers know there is a risk having VR out there, but the lack of moments in center field, it's worth the reward to have VR's bat in the lineup. Remember, VR was the Brewers Player of the Month in August. He's been swinging a very hot bat here recently, and even though the Brewers have done a lot of winning here, their offense is struggling for the most part.
Yeah,
they've had a few breakout games, but it's a lineup that needs offense. VR coming in on this one, racing in, and that's going to fall. A run is in. The throw to second. Cozart is in there. And with Craig Counsell feeling like VR has avoided disaster, he is seeing it in back-to-back hitters here.
Yeah, going back last time and coming in. Didn't get a very good break on that baseball. Again, playing deep out in center field. Good pitch by Davies. I guess the only question is, if he catches, is he going to make a throw to home plate? It is 1-0, but it probably should have been caught. Inexperience. That stuff time, it'll catch up to you. There are a number of games where he's been out there, really hadn't had much of anything to have to deal with. There have been games where he hasn't even touched the baseball in center field. Back-to-back hitters, and right now it's cost the Brewers a run.
So VR will play deep with Votto at the plate. Votto had a single his last time up. Reds score first here today. Let's bring in Sophia. She's got more on the VR story in center field. What do you have, Sophia?
Yeah, it was something we talked about before the game with Craig Counsell, and he said overall he felt that VR had handled it well. And as you guys said, he acknowledged, we know we're taking a risk putting him in center field, and that in his previous games there he had not been tested much. But he said what stood out to him is that even as an infielder, he says the ball's in the air, the plays that he made, he said the routes are good. And to your point about Tucker Barnhart's double yesterday, he said even though he didn't get there to make the catch, the route was still there. So he said it's the intellect and the instincts that he thinks it will allow VR to do well in center field.
They look at a lot of defensive metrics, trying to figure out exactly, with the way they measure routes and whatnot these days by outfielders, and I think the consensus was, well, it's possible someone else could have caught it, but unlikely.
All right.
And so they're still trying to make their decisions on if this is a viable option. It has come up to bite him here in this inning.
Yeah, and there's no doubt that Broxton catches both of those baseballs that were hit in this inning. But again, new position. I mean, different angles. He's playing very deep, and he's dealing with a different glove. That big outfielder's glove, something he's not used to. A little different feel in the hand.
1-0 Reds, 3-1 the count on Votto. Got a runner at second, and Votto pulls one into right. Santana watches that one bounce. Well, the Reds are just dropping them in front of the Brewer outfielders. Votto is aboard with his second hit. I'm sure Zach Davies is wondering what's going on here.
Yeah, again, playing deep out in right field. Santana always plays deep. Change up. And Joey Votto gets a bat on it, but dumps it in front of Santana. Once again, a late break on a fly ball that probably should have been caught. Playing deep and didn't get a very good jump.
2 fly balls that bounce in front of outfielders. And the misplay on the first fly ball by the pitcher. So it's first and third with just 1 out. And here is Adam Duvall. On the ground foul. Duvall bounced into a 5-3 double play yesterday with the bases loaded. That was a key out in the game. It allowed the Brewers to stay in there, eventually tying the game. Davies is a ground ball pitcher when he wants to be. He has enough of an arsenal to induce a ground ball. The cutter, the sinker. And there's a curveball on the ground. Arcia's got it to second. Out there, throw to first. Double play. So Davies gets the job done, works around a couple of misplays. A 6-4-3 double play, nicely turned by the Brewers. Arcia to Sogard to Walker. One of the best young shortstops in the game, and a much needed double play right there. Here by Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. 1-0 Cincinnati as we head to the top of the fourth. Brewers coming up. Neil Walker will lead off. Reds scoring last inning, but Zach Davies minimizing the damage. And as of right now, that will be an unearned run, and his scoreless streak on the road is ongoing at this point. Walker will start it for the Brewers. He'll be followed by Braun, then Shaw. Last inning, the Brewers had a single to lead off the inning by VR. There was a line drive out to right, turned into a double play. And then after Davies drew a walk, the Brewer pitcher, Sogard, was put out. 3-4-3 put out as Votto took a hit away from Sogard. Meanwhile, the Brewers struggling in their outfield in the third inning, and it leads to a run. Young Robert Stevenson deals a 3-1, and Walker takes ball 4.
Go be patient.
Walker is on. Here comes Ryan Braun. Ryan lined out his first time up, hit a bullet to right field. A home run away from 300 in his career. Be a good time for it right here and now.
Stevenson working Bronny away first 2 at bats. Yeah, breaking stuff, change ups. That plays right into the hands of Ryan Braun. He likes the ball out there.
How about that?
Yeah.
That was an interesting sequence.
Yeah.
Barnhart keeps putting down outside corner fastball. Stevenson shook him off 3 times. He put the same fastball down. Now he settles on the slider. And it's in the dirt. It's a rookie pitcher shaking off a catcher. Now Barnhart wants to have a chat with him.
And look, you know, you just walked a guy. You got Ryan Braun, and we need to throw strikes here. You got a good live fastball. Don't be so breaking pitch happy, which is something that Stevenson kind of falls into a trap once in a while. A lot of sliders, change ups, but that fastball very effective. I would imagine that's what Barnhart was out telling him right now.
It's got to be irritating for a pitcher too, right? You shake off a fastball, catcher puts another one down. Nope, I don't want to throw that. Puts another one down. No, I said I didn't want to throw that.
A lot of times catcher will call timeout and go out there. Won't let him throw the slider.
2-0 to Braun. And he hits one sharply to right, a base hit. So the Brewers get something started here in the 4th. 2 on with nobody out. A walk and a single. Braun's hit the ball hard twice.
Yeah, he's starting to dial it in again. I mean, this is bread and butter for Ryan Braun. Out away from him. That ball outer half, and this hits a bullet out there in the right field. Like a left-handed pull hitter.
So 2 on for Travis Shaw. Reds scoring in the 3rd inning. The Brewers are threatening in the 4th. 2 on, nobody out. And the best run producer on the ball club at the plate, it's Shaw. No Eric Thames in the starting lineup tonight. Thames is the Brewers home run leader right now with 28. Shaw's right behind him.
Yeah, Craig Counsell playing the hot hand right now. Got VR out there instead of Thames. I mean, it's not the straight positional move.
Powerball home run leaderboard. Thames with those 28 home runs. 10 of those have come against Cincinnati. Travis Shaw looking for his first home run since August 19th when he homered on the road at Colorado. 2-0 the count. Shaw takes a ball. It's 3-0 now. And now we'll see if Travis Shaw has the green light. Walker at second, Braun at first. A walk and a single. And that's ball 4, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And maybe running the bases last inning has affected Stevenson a little bit. Got on via an error, was on base, scored a run.
Well, that'll bring a visit from the Reds pitching coach, Mac Jenkins.
Yeah, that and the fact that this is the second time through for the Brewers against this guy. Remember, this is his first start against Milwaukee. He has worked 3 games out of the bullpen. I hadn't seen a whole lot of them. Second time through, getting better looks.
Domingo Santana coming up with the bases loaded. Golden opportunity for the Brewers in this 4th inning. Reds scoring an unearned run in the bottom of the 3rd. And now Stevenson in the deep waters here against Milwaukee. Santana a strikeout victim in the 2nd. Stevenson caught him looking. And a wave and a miss. Good breaking ball there.
Yeah, rare curveball. Started him out with a curveball.
Down 0-2 quickly. Stevenson with a couple of off-speed pitches to get it ahead in the count on Santana.
Yeah, couldn't locate the fastball, you know, this inning. So Tucker Barnhart elects to go with the big curveball. He's got ahead 0-2. Sometimes that'll get your delivery back, throwing those breaking pitches.
Setting up inside Barnhart, and the 2-strike pitch is up and in for a ball. Santana's the right guy to have at the plate. He's the team leader in on-base percentage, in hits, leads the team in walks as well, and trailing only Travis Shaw in RBIs. Bases full of Brewers with nobody out. The 1-2. Santana fouls it away. Domingo hit 2 home runs on Sunday. Part of that Brewer win over Washington that helped them secure a series win, winning 3 out of 4. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Santana hanging tough.
Tough pitch right there, up and in. Able to get a bat on it. It's been fastballs, curveballs from Stevenson. This at bat to Santana. Able to fight it off.
He fights another one off. Good battle going here, Santana and Stevenson. Domingo trying to deliver. 7th pitch of the at-bat, still only a 1-2 count. And that one's on the edge. A fastball got him.
Yeah, caught him looking. He guessed. He thought he was going to get a curveball again, and Stevenson got him outer half of the fastball. Got plenty of the plate. That's a big out. Now a double play ball will get him out of the inning.
That's the same pitch he struck out Santana with in the 2nd inning. He's punched him twice. 3rd strikeout for Stevenson. Bases still loaded. 1 out now for Stephen Vogt. Vogt has 2 career grand slams and 5 at-bats with the bases loaded this year. He has 2 hits. 0-1 pitch, and Vogt swings and misses. Well, you can see why the Reds are so high on this kid Stevenson. He has got some wipeout stuff. Look at that slider.
Yeah, it's a good pitch. Good block by Barnhart. Fastball's been getting by Brewer hitters. And that curveball slider combination has been a good one tonight.
No balls, 2 strikes on Vogt. In the dirt. Good block by Barnhart. He is an excellent defensive catcher. Moves well behind the plate.
Handles pitchers pretty well. Has a terrific throwing arms. Tough to run on him. Prerequisite to be in the major leagues to block pitches like that.
Vogt looking for a mistake here. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Stephen Vogt, and it's up and away for a ball. 2-2 now. Vogt's been a .300 hitter in his time in Milwaukee. He was struggling at the plate with the A's. One of the reasons they DFA'd him, designated for assignment. But he's found new life here with the Brewers. He's up in a big spot right now. 2-2 pitch. And Vogt strikes out. Came back with the hook. And Stevenson with back-to-back Ks. That looked like actually a changeup, huh, Rob?
Yeah, good one. Good pitch. I mean, look at the location of it. You can see the grip and the rotation, and Vogt out in front of it.
I haven't seen too many of those tonight. So 2 outs. Bases are still loaded, and here comes VR. Good play by Barnhart. Keeps a run from scoring.
Those fastballs in the dirt, very difficult on a catcher. You don't have time to get down and block them. Just got to try and knock them down with a glove. He was able to do it.
Telling his pitcher, calm down. Gotcha. Now VR committing the error last inning. Trying to deliver at the plate. There's an old baseball notion that says, watch out for the player who made an error, especially if it leads to a run. Heighten awareness next time at the plate. I don't know if it's true or not, or if the numbers would back that up, but you certainly want to erase a defensive miscue with something offensively. He's got a chance. And VR taps it foul, and now the count a ball and 2 strikes.
Just mixing it up really nicely is Stevenson. I mean, he all of a sudden found his command. I think he got his command back with those 2 curveballs he started Santana. A lot of times that'll get you to finish that delivery. It seems to be working for him.
Brewers had him loaded with nobody out. Back-to-back strikeouts. And now VR in a 1-2 count. Throw him a change again. 3 straight Ks with the bases loaded, and the Brewers come up empty in the 4th.
Tucker's starter went 6 scoreless innings, gave up just 3 hits and 3 strikeouts in the season. On Biloxi, a 2-1 record of 1.53 earned run average. Overall, a really nice season between Carolina and Biloxi for Cody Ponce. He went 10-9 with a 3.14 earned run average, 30 walks, and 103 strikeouts. So congratulations to him on a great season.
Yeah, one thing you want to do is make it to Double-A and then make a name for yourself. Once you get to Double-A, that window starts to open for a chance to pitch in the big leagues, and Cody Ponce certainly did that this year. He was very impressive.
That's the biggest hurdle to leap in the minor leagues. You go from A ball to Double-A, and once you're right, I mean, once you get to Double-A, you're a phone call away from being in the big leagues. And I'll tell you, the pitching down in the minor leagues this year has been exceptional. A lot of guys. Seems like we're talking about somebody every day that's put together a nice outing.
Zach Davies back at it here in the 4th inning with Jeanette at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Scooter. Brewers let a big opportunity go by. They had the bases loaded and nobody out, and then 3 consecutive punch-outs. Santana, Vogt, and VR. Boy, those bite you.
Yeah, 1 a fastball and 2 changeups for the strikeouts. But I go back to Barnhart and calling those 2 curveballs after Stevenson couldn't find the plate with the fastball. And just like a good veteran catcher will do, he'll start throwing some breaking pitches, get him to finish his delivery, and that kind of turned the corner for him in that inning.
Two pitch. Jeanette rolls over 1 to second. And Sogard will make the play for out number 1. Hey, a reminder that Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Snowball Express and their commitment to providing hope and a new happy memory to the children of our fallen heroes while on active duty since 9/11. By bringing children together from all over the world, Snowball Express provides an annual life-changing event to make each child feel special as we remember the lives of their parents. We remember. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn how you can help. It's a great program, Snowball Express.
Yeah, one of many really worthy military charities that you can help.
One away, the batter is Suarez. Davies working through an error and 2 singles last inning, giving up a run, but it was an unearned run. And his consecutive scoreless inning streak on the road continues. There's a drive down the left field line that is hooking foul. And a ball and 2 strikes on Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah, left that one up. Yep, curveball. It was up and in, and Suarez not able to wait back long enough to keep it fair. A loud out.
Suarez has some pop. So far this year, he's hit 24. 24 homers, 74 driven in. And you think about he and Scooter Jeanette back-to-back in the lineup. 2 guys you're not expecting big power from, and they have delivered just that. Jeanette's hit 23 with 82 driven in, and then 24 and 74 from the 3rd baseman Suarez.
Yeah, these guys can swing the bats. I mean, offense is not their issue. Talking about that all year. Pitching starting to get a little bit better. I mean, Homer Bailey was good last night. I was talking to Braun about Bailey. He said he had really good stuff last night. Stevenson's throwing well tonight.
Liner into right field. Santana closes and makes the catch for the out. 2 men are gone in the 4th inning for Zach Davies.
Yeah, the first one was a loud strike. That was a loud out. He hit it hard into right field.
Two up, 2 down. Here is Scott Schebler now. He singled and stole a base in the 2nd inning. That was a 2-out single. Reds have 4 hits in the game off Davies. Shift is on for Schebler. 3 infielders on the right side. And that is Arcia, who is deep in the grass in shallow right. He's in that rover position. Big swing and a miss. Curveball from Davies.
Yeah, can't imagine why he would throw this guy a fastball for a strike. I think Zach threw him a cutter. Last at bat, he got a base hit. Change-ups, curveballs, very effective against this guy.
1 ball, 1 strike. And he tried the cutter. He missed inside. Schebler's another guy with some pop in his bat. He's hit 26 homers this year. And Davies puts a fastball on the inside corner. 2-2 the count now. Davies has got him in the think tank right now. Knows what he wants. 2-2 and a fastball missed.
Boy, it didn't miss by much. I think Schebler was fooled back-to-back fastballs. That last a little bit further off the plate. Pretty close to the one before. Change-up time right here. Fastball.
Yeah, going back to it. 3-2 and it misses inside. Schebler draws the walk. A 2-out walk issued by Davies. That's his first walk of the game.
Didn't miss by much, but it was in off the plate. 91. Schebler able to get the walk. I think Schebler's looking change-up. This fastball is pretty close. If you're looking fastball, you're swinging at those. Most guys are.
Oh, it's a walk. And it comes with 2 outs. That brings Tucker Barnhart to the plate. There's strike 1. Strike 2. Gets ahead of him quickly. No balls, 2 strikes on Barnhart.
It's so interesting watching Zach Davies try to carve up a hitter. That's 5 fastballs in a row he's just thrown.
That's right. And now Vogt wants to start it up again.
Once you get these guys looking off speed, then you slip the fastballs by him. Vogt doing a good job calling the game, getting to the pitch he wants quickly.
I think Zach, more than any other Brewer starter, because he does not have the big fastball, is more aware of scouting reports, how he is viewed, what his last start was like, knowing that the opposing team is going to look at that performance. There's a curveball and it's pulled foul. Just got a piece of it. Davies used the comeback sinker, that sinker on an inside corner to the lefty, very well against the Dodgers. And then didn't use it so much in his next start against Washington. Felt like they were maybe looking for it, and
more the cutter.
He went the other direction,
right,
and was breaking a lot of bats against Washington. Like that pitch right there.
You talk about velocity. It's not just the velocity that you see on the speed gun 91, but with all the other stuff that he throws, curveballs, change-ups. 91 appears much quicker when you're up there in the batter's box.
1-2 the count. Davies deals and it misses inside again. He went back to that cut fastball. You can tell what he's trying to do. Think about the difference between the sinker and the cut fastball. There's that subtle movement. One is going away from the left-handed hitter, the other's breaking into him, but he can't quite thread the needle. 2-2 is a changeup and it's low and away. And now it's 3-2, and that's going to give the runner Schebler a head start at first. He's been close, but he hasn't been able to get strike 3. See what he does. 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss. Struck him out on a big curve. And Davies outlast Barnhart. Strikeout number 4 for Zach Davies. Streak is alive on the road. 40 2/3 consecutive scoreless.
our community outreach efforts with their commitment to several important causes. Each summer, the Brewers' wives team up with Brewers Community Foundation to raise funds through a number of special events with proceeds earmarked for various organizations in Greater Milwaukee.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Here we go to the Brewer half of the 5th inning, and it's 1-0 Cincinnati. Zach Davies with this long streak going, not allowing an earned run. Reds have a run on the board tonight. It was an unearned run, reaching on a 2-base error by VR. But the Brewers need to get the bats going right now. Arcia will lead off, Davies to follow, and then to the top of the order, Sogard. As we play in the 5th, rookie right-hander Robert Stevenson back to work, and he deals strike 1. Arcia with a big hit yesterday when the Brewers needed it most. Down 4-1, a 3-run home run. He swung at the first pitch and knocked it out of here. That tied the game. 14 home runs for Orlando Arcia. He's been in some big moments this year. He gives you that steady defense every day. He's already started a beautiful double play in this game today. That ended the 3rd.
Not that long ago, he was into the 290s with the batting average. He's cooled off somewhat, although he did take that slider yesterday out of the ballpark.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Down he goes. Another strikeout. That's 4 consecutive Ks for Stevenson.
And fastballs, and this is a hanging slider right here. That's not where you want to leave it, but got away with it. Got the swing and a miss. Guy's working quickly. Got a lot of confidence out there in the mound. His last 4 starts, not including tonight, have been pretty good.
Davies fouls that one away. Davies drew a walk his last time up. One of the 3 walks that Stevenson has issued tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Davies takes a ball. 2-1 now. 4th appearance against the Brewers this year for Stevenson. His first 3 out of the bullpen. He did have a 3-inning outing against Milwaukee. That was back in April. And ball 3 now on Davies.
Just missing the top of that strike zone is Stevenson, and good patience by Zach. His arm missing by a whole lot.
Three and 1 the count. Davies draws the walk again. So Stevenson has walked the Brewer pitcher twice, and a man on with 1 out as we get back to the top of the order.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, the Bella Vita Banquet Hall in New Munster. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. It's offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Bella Vita Banquet Hall in New Munster. That's a mouthful.
Welcome all the folks from New Munster watching tonight. Cheeseheads are alive and well in Cincinnati. A lot of Brewers fans in the ballpark tonight. Sogard on the ground. Jeanette over to Cozart, and a double play to end the inning. Sogard hit it hard, but it goes 4-6-3. Side retired. putting up another terrific road performance and doing it with everything he's got. He's got the fastball command going. Little sinker, that was a changeup, and he got Jeanette out in front of that one. Another good changeup to Barnhart, and then how about these hooks he's been throwing? In the low 70s, works like a change of pace. Zach Davies, fastball, cutter, changeup, and curveball. 4 innings, has not allowed an earned run, and that consecutive streak continues. The scoreless streak for earned runs. He has given up some runs on the road, but none of them earned during this long stretch. He's got a chance to catch and pass Oral Hershiser with the most consecutive scoreless innings since 1988, going back 30 years. What a feat.
Yeah.
See if he can keep it going. He's going to need to tonight because the Brewers are not swinging the bat very well right now. Slow roller right to Walker at first base, and the pitcher Stevenson is retired.
Well, the fact that he's got 4 pitches that he can throw any time, and really, as you've been watching him last inning, a lot of fastballs. He got Barnhart on the big curveball, but as the game goes on, these Reds are sitting off speed, change-ups, curveballs. He's been effective with the fastball, and most of the fastballs have been worked inside.
Top of the order, here's Billy Hamilton now. 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up, and then he reached on a sac bunt his next time. There's that slow curve in there for a strike. That's about as slow as Davies can throw that curveball. That was 71 miles an hour. He does have hopes to get that curveball into the 60s, because then you can really use it as a change of pace.
Ephus. The Randy Wolf curveball.
Yeah, Zach Greinke had a very slow curve as well. I think he and Randy Wolf had a competition that one year in 11 who could throw the slowest curveball.
I think Wolfie had one in the upper 50s.
I think he did too. 2 balls and a strike. Hamilton takes another slow curve, and it's strike 2. 2-2 now. Davies is fascinating to watch. He is a pitcher's pitcher.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's kind of an artist out there.
And he strikes out Hamilton. He goes right back to it. Obviously, he knew the game plan on Billy Hamilton. And big curve, Hamilton way out in front, second out of the inning. And how about that, huh?
Yeah, and that was a hanger. Well, earned runs. There you go.
First pitcher in the last 30 years to go 41 1/3, to go this long without giving up an earned run on the road. What a feat. Gets ahead of Cozart. That one misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Pitch count's a little high for Davies, working here in the 5th inning. Cozart into right. Santana's there, and a 3-up, 3-down inning. That's what he needed, a quick one. Had a long one in the 3rd. Bounces back well. 1-0 Reds. Brewers coming up.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. More bad blood between the Yankees and the Red Sox, as the story broke today that the Boston Red Sox reportedly stole signs using electronic communication between the trainer and players in the dugout. This scheme was uncovered by the Yankees last month, and then the Red Sox also accused the Yankees of doing the same thing. So plenty of drama there between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Jake Arrieta yesterday for the Cubs left his start against the Pirates with tightness in his right hamstring. He did have an MRI. The Cubs would not disclose the results of that, but Joe Maddon said it's likely that his next start will be pushed back.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Yeah, watching that unfold with Jake Arrieta, he tried to stay in the game, and then he tried to throw a practice ball and couldn't complete it, and it looked bad for Jake Arrieta. That is going to be very interesting to follow. Cubs are playing the Pirates tonight. They have a 3-2 lead in Pittsburgh. Walker sends one down the right field line, and that is a foul ball. Neil Walker hits it a mile, but just got ahead of it a little.
Just couldn't keep those hands in long enough to keep it fair. It hooks as it gets to the foul pole. Foul by plenty.
Long way up there. 0-2 the count on Walker.
But sign stealing in the big leagues?
Yeah, that's never
happened. There's a
before.
shocker.
0-2 the count, and Walker fouls it back. Sophia, I know Craig Counsell had a fun conversation about sign stealing. What did he say?
Yeah, well, we brought it up with him, and he said obviously it's part of the game, and he said there are legal ways that you can gain an advantage, and he said it's something. Sign stealing is obviously kind of policed by the players themselves a lot of times, that you know that there are teams and players that are more aggressive about doing it than others, but he said there is kind of a trust developed among all the players and teams there. So he said even if you know that it's happening, you obviously try to stay away from it and obviously keep it out of the game when you can.
Yeah, when you bring in the electronic communication, that's when things get on the illegal side. But what Counsell's talking about is the gamesmanship, the runner at second base, or the watching the motions of the catcher, or trying to pick up perhaps the motions of a pitcher.
And what he meant by players policing that stuff, if a team kind of figures you're trying to steal their signs out there, there are ways to keep them from doing that, namely drilling somebody.
Or changing the count up, or being cognizant of,
or drilling somebody.
Nobody hits anybody anymore. But
I'm talking about back in the old days.
Back in your days.
You had to be very subtle about how you're stealing signs, and I believe we used to do instructionals on that in the past.
Well, and the point being is that, as Craig wisely pointed out, it is not illegal to try to steal signs in the confines of the game, but when you start adding in the Apple Watches and the communication through the athletic trainer, that's when
that's kind of going
taking
overboard.
it a little too far.
There have been coaches in the big leagues for a long time that will sit there and they will just focus in on Ed Cedar down at third base and try and figure out if they're going to bunt, hit and run, steal, those types of things. Of course, that's not as big a part of the game as it used to be. Most guys that can run are on their own. You don't see many hit and runs. But there were some really great sign stealers back in the old days.
Walker's worked it into a 3-2 count. Now you might look at mannerisms of a pitcher. I remember a story, and I'm sure it's happened many times, but a pitcher throwing a breaking ball, he would have his finger sticking straight up out of his glove. That's why they put these patches over the glove. Hey, Neil Walker draws the walk. Got down 0-2 and earns his way on. That's the fourth walk given up in the last 3 innings by Stevenson. It is his 5th walk overall. And the Brewers trying to take advantage of one of these here.
You got the guys coming up that you want. These are the guys that set the table last time.
Ryan Braun at the plate, presented by Wendy's. He had a line drive single to right in the 4th. First time up, hit a line drive to right field. He's hit the ball hard twice. First one was caught by Schebler. Braun sitting on 299 homers. Brewers down 1-0 here in the 6th inning. A leadoff walk to Neil Walker. In there, strike 2.
And right at the bottom of the zone, maybe Brony thinking breaking pitch. Looking back to the home plate umpire saying, yep, it was a strike. Had the plate right at the knees.
Well, you like the way Barnhart catches that ball too. Sticks the landing.
Yep. Gets it out in front. Once you see the hitter not going to swing.
0-2 the count on Braun. On the ground, Cozart is there, flips to Jeanette, and it's another double play. Back-to-back innings with double plays for Stevenson. That's the 3rd double play of the game for the Reds. Wipes out a leadoff walk.
Man, that was on an 0-2 pitch. And pretty good pitch for Brony to hit, too. Out away from him, beat it into the ground, and yet another double play for Cincinnati. That's their 3rd tonight. Had one from the outfield.
2 outs, nobody on. Travis Shaw at the plate now. And a changeup. Good pitch. Shaw way out in front. Travis is 0 for 1. He walked his last time up. He drew a walk on 4 pitches his last time. That loaded the bases with nobody out. And then Stevenson proceeded to strike out the next 3 hitters. One ball, 1 strike on Shaw. Brewers down 1-0. And it goes to 1-2. We're keeping an eye on that Cubs-Pirates game tonight. They're in Pittsburgh, 3-2 Chicago. Pirates batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. The other team the Brewers are chasing, the Colorado Rockies, that is in the wild card race. Rockies and the Giants are just underway and scoreless. Shaw strikes out, and the inning is over. A leadoff walk, then a double play and a K to get him out of it. To the bottom of the 6th we go. All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. Here's Joey Votto on the first pitch, and over is Braun to make the catch. One away on the first pitch from Davies. Yeah, Jake Odorizzi was once called the young Zach Greinke in the Brewers organization. He had a very similar pitching motion to Zach Greinke. He's gone on to have a nice career with the Rays. Twins are right in there in the wild card race. They're behind the Yankees, 3 in the loss column. They're a half a game ahead of the Angels. Angels will be in Oakland tonight. Baltimore's been hot lately, winning 7 of their last 10. Orioles taking on the Yankees tonight. It's a good race. There's a lot of teams in there, partner.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. You know, back in the old days, there was speculation that there was some sign stealing going on electronically at the old Metrodome.
Oh, yeah?
Nothing came of it.
Blinking lights and whatnot?
Blinking lights, red light, no light, fastball, off speed.
Well, Tony La Russa was so convinced that the Brewers were stealing Cardinal signs during the 2011 season, even into the NLCS, that he had Yadier Molina use multiple signs even when there was nobody on base.
Right.
And they still do it to this day.
It's not a bad idea.
Might as well.
Yeah, regardless.
That's how you fix that. Or you can hit somebody, like you said, but that's one way to.
I do not promote that. I'm not promoting it. I'm talking about back in the old days.
Yeah, try stealing a sign on Nolan Ryan.
Right, yeah.
At your own risk.
Do it once.
Well, it's good some of that violence is out of the game. Cost a few careers. Much kinder, gentler game.
He didn't have the electronic stuff. There's a guy at second base. I mean, the catcher would throw down, you know, first sign after 2, or second sign, and if you're out there long enough, you can get a pattern. Guys really watch that stuff, and there were ways to relay to the hitter what you were getting.
Jam shot roller over to Shaw, and he takes care of Duvall. 2 up, 2 down for Zach Davies.
Hey, big things are happening in the Brew City, and you can get on board for the 2018 season by placing a deposit on a Brewers 20-game plan. By placing your deposit now, you'll secure postseason ticket access plus guaranteed top priority seating selection in 2018. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
23 games left on the schedule after tonight's play. Here's Scooter Gennett, and Davies moves his feet.
No, there were hitters that, you know, didn't necessarily like to know what was coming because they felt as though if they knew a fastball was coming, they'd be too aggressive and maybe swing at it regardless if they knew it was coming. There were hitters, though, that would prefer to get location rather than pitch, which is a lot easier to relay when a catcher sets up.
The inside game, that's what makes baseball so interesting. Gennett hits that one hard into left center. That's going to get down, and it will go to the fence. Gennett on his way to second with a double. It's a 2-out double for Scooter Gennett. And that snaps a string of 6 in a row retired by Davies.
That fastball away, mistake by Davies, and Scooter Gennett able to take advantage of it, rip it into the gap out there. The Scooter's been barreling up a lot of pitches as of late.
Two-out double. Oliver Drake getting loose in the Brewer bullpen. As the pitch count rises for Davies, he's pitched well. He's only given up the 1 run, which was an unearned run, but his pitch count is nearing 100. I figure this will be his last inning. Eugenio Suarez at the plate now, takes ball 1.
That could be his last hitter. Left-hander Schebler on deck. Switch hitter Barnhart in the hole.
And a base hit to right. Gennett's going to round third. The ball is bobbled in right by Santana. Gennett scores the run, and the Reds have a 2-0 lead. And the road scoreless streak is over for Zach Davies.
Yep, the earned run streak is gone, and more importantly, a 2-0 deficit for the Brewers. Pretty good pitch. So Suarez inside out, it got it down on the handle a little bit, but able to fight it off. So 2 outs, nobody on, double single, and the Reds extend their lead to 2-0.
Suarez has been a big run producer this year. He drives in his 75th. It's back-to-back hits with 2 outs. And that's going to be the end of the line for Zach Davies. Council's on his way out. Council makes a call to the bullpen. Davies, not pleased, will exit. And here comes Drake with Schebler coming up. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota, let's go places. 2-0 Reds, they have the lead. And Scooter Gennett with a 2-out double off Davies. He scores on a Suarez single, and that's the end of the night for the right-hander. And this long streak of no earned runs on the road ends. 42 1/3 is where it ends. Davies had good stuff tonight, but that long third inning, Rock, that did him in on the pitch count.
Yeah, I mean, he did give up the 1 run, but it was kind of a struggle a little bit for him. He had 1 3-up, 3-down inning, but still, I mean, deserved a better fate. Brewers offense just has not been able to get going in this series. And you can see where the scoreless streak ends of earned runs anyway.
Most in the last 30 years at Major League Baseball. So here's Drake now. He'll face Schebler. Drake began the year with the Orioles. Was taken off their roster. And the Brewers acquired him off waivers.
Been a long time for Drake, back against the Cardinals on Tuesday. That's a week.
And 2 pretty good off-speed deliveries has Schebler down 0-2. Looking ahead to the Brewers 7th, they've got Santana leading off, then Vogt, and then VR. Brewers down 2-0. Robert Stevenson is throwing a 2-hit shutout through the first 6. How about that? 3 pitches and a strikeout for Drake. The inning ends, a runner stranded at first. 2-0 Reds now. They get a 2-out RBI. Now the Brewers coming up down a pair. I want to remind you about the Brewers mini marathon. It's right around the corner. Volunteers are needed. Saturday, September 9th is the date. It's at Miller Park. Volunteers will receive an official event crew t-shirt. You get a ticket voucher for a game next season and entry into the post-race tailgate party. For details, visit foxsportswisconsin.com/events. Brewer fans are anxious for their team to get some runs on the board. Being shut out through the first 6 innings, the 24-year-old right-hander Robert Stevenson, with 7 strikeouts thus far, has been able to work around 4 walks in the game. Facing Santana to start the 7th. Santana, Vogt, and VR coming up.
This is 5 consecutive good starts for this guy. He's found something. Working quickly, he's got a lot of confidence. Using 4 pitches very effectively tonight.
Now, what the Reds are for the year is not what they have been lately from the mound. Matter of fact, their starters in the last 11 games you carried into tonight as well. They've got an ERA under 3. Coming into play tonight, the last 11 games, the starting pitchers for the Reds had a 2.94 ERA. And those were 11 games where rookies started 9 of them, including Stevenson.
And still, with all that good pitching, they're still last in the National League, a .526 team earned run average.
Santana sends one deep into left center. That's going to get down and go to the fence. Domingo Santana with a leadoff double.
And hit that one hard. Actually, he had a little hook on it, hooking away from Hamilton. Off the bat, you thought maybe Hamilton was going to be able to run it down. It was a slider. Kind of nice fade on it, like a nice 5-iron, huh? And Hamilton has to run it down against the wall, and there's a good start for the crew.
Santana with a lead double. The Brewers have put their lead batter on in 4 of the last 5 innings, trying to break through for the first time. Here's Vogt now. And Vogt takes a strike, a fastball.
Somebody, about time for somebody to go deep here.
Brewers hit 2 yesterday for their 4 runs. Team that relies heavily on the home run ball. This is the ballpark to do it.
Vogt talking to himself after that. That was a one that he liked. It was up and in, had a good swing at it.
No balls, 2 strikes on Vogt. 1-2 now. '17 start behind the plate tonight for Vogt as a Brewer. 25th game for Milwaukee. Brewers claimed him back in late June. Had to go on the disabled list for about a month, mid-July to mid-August. And he will be a big bat for the rest of the year for the Brewers. 1-2 pitch in the dirt.
And since he's come off the disabled list, he's caught a lot. Manny Pena, I think he's still banged up a little bit with that hip flexor. Craig Counsell wants as many left-handed bats as he can get in there. Vogt one of them, but did a pretty good job behind home plate. Not a guy to expect to throw out a lot of runners, but calling a good game.
Blocks pitch as well. He's playing with that big knee brace on his left knee. 2-2 the count. Santana ready to run at second. And Vogt hits it hard center field. Hamilton looks up, and it is one hopped off the wall. Santana around third on his way to the plate, and he will score as Vogt drives in a run. It's an RBI double, and the Brewers finally break through against Stevenson.
Man, that was a little bit too difficult to score a run on a ball like that. I think Santana was tagging up. That's a no-no with nobody out. You go halfway. If he catches it, you're still, I think, able to go back and tag up. But Vogt, 2 strikes. That two-seam fastball up in the zone, and he rips it into center field. The Brewers cut the lead in half. And Santana barely able to score on that double to center.
It's a big hit for Vogt. It's going to mean a pitching change for Brian Price. He's got a double switch coming as the Brewers have the tying run at second. Remember, they scored 4 in the 7th inning yesterday. And they've got one on the board, nobody out, and a man in scoring position. Let's see who Price goes with. Pitching change in Cincinnati. And by Chevy, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com today to find a dealer near you. Brewers get something cooking here in the 7th. A run is in on a Stephen Vogt double. Vogt's going to be lifted for a pinch runner. The newly purchased Quentin Berry, brought up from AAA to the big leagues. And he'll pinch run for Vogt here in the 7th inning. Double switch for the Reds, Rock. They've got Kiblehan now in right field. And the new pitcher for the Reds is Asher Wojciechowski.
And kind of a long guy for the Reds in limited opportunities. 19th appearance, earned run average near 6. You can see more strikeouts than innings pitched.
Jonathan Villar at the plate. Nobody out. Tying run at second. Brewers just brought up Quentin Berry from AAA, signing him late in August. And here he is in the big leagues to do just this. Be a pinch runner, and he carries the tying run. And Villar shows bunt again. That's a strike throw to second. Berry is back.
Yeah, Wojciechowski last pitched on Friday at Pittsburgh. 2 innings, scoreless. Walked a batter, struck out a batter.
One ball, one strike to count. Corner infielders are in. Villar shows bunt again. Bunts it foul.
You're down around the bottom of the order. I'm not sure Craig Counsell wants to see Villar bunting in this situation. You got Arcia on deck. Of course, you're going to go with a pinch hitter with a pitcher spot.
Inning started with a Santana double, and then Vogt with a 2-strike double to center field to drive in the first run. 1-2 the count. Villar shows bunt again and able to check it. 2-2 now.
Something the Brewers don't do a whole lot of, but you know, the way the bats have been, you try to get Barry to third base with less than 2 outs. Runs have been tough to come by.
2-2. PR bunts it to third. That's a good one. Throw to first in time. And it is a sacrifice that will get Barry to third base. So the first out of the inning, but the Brewers put the tying run at third. And Orlando Arcia is coming up. The rare sac bunt.
Yeah, a good job with 2 strikes too. It bunted hard to third base, make Suarez vacate the bag, and now the tying run 90 feet away, and great speed at third base.
PR is the only position player that has multiple sacrifice bunts this year. That is his second. It is only the 11th by a position player this season. Arcia is up there, infield end. He shows bunt. Maybe a squeeze was on. Reds trying to cut off this run here. Arcia lined into a double play in the third with the runner on the move, and then he struck out his last time up. Arcia showed bunt again, takes a ball. That's the safety squeeze.
Yeah.
Not the suicide squeeze.
Breaking ball from Wojciechowski, missing. It's 2-0. Well, you got him figuring you're going to bunt or try and drop one down, maybe get a fastball down the middle. See if he's swinging away on 2-0.
Arcia tied the game yesterday with a home run, and he shows bunt again, bunts it foul. This is so uncharacteristic of Craig Counsell,
isn't it?
But it gives you the idea that he's just trying to do all he can to get this thing jump started a little bit, because he watched his offense with 3 straight punch outs with the bases loaded in the 4th. On deck is Aguilar. Infield end. 2 balls and a strike. Another bunt attempt. That one's in there for a strike.
Well, what Craig Counsell's thinking, if Arcia is able to get it on the ground with the speed of Barry, he should be able to score. You don't do this unless you have a guy that can really fly at third base, and a guy that has pretty good base running instincts.
Well, now you wonder if he's going to try with 2 strikes. He's got to get it down, if so, or otherwise it's a strikeout. 2-2. He's swinging this time, and he fouls it back out of play. Had a pretty good cut. One of the reasons managers don't bunt any longer as much as they used to, first of all, it's been proven that giving up an out in certain situations really is not advantageous. So that means you have a lot of position players who aren't used to bunting. 2-2 the count. 3-2 now.
And one less out or an at bat that you might be able to hit one out of the ballpark. I mean, that's the way the game is. Looking for the long ball, particularly this Brewers offense.
This is a big pitch in the inning right here. Got Aguilar coming up next. Wojciechowski in a 3-2 count. Tying run at third base with play in the 7th. And he fouled it. Just got a piece right off the end of the bat to stay alive.
Cutter slider, just able to get enough of it to stay alive. Check it out. Oh, yeah, didn't get it by much.
Do it again. 3-2 the count. And Arcia fouls another one off. Boy, he's done a good job hanging in there, slowing that bat down to make contact. That one coming in at 83 miles an hour.
Yeah, swinging at fastball, getting slider, but able to make an adjustment right at the last second to stay alive.
Ninth pitch of the at bat. Barry carrying the tying run at third. Infield in. And the 3-2. Arcia, did he go? They will ask. He did not. Checks his swing, and the Brewers have him at the corners now. with Aguilar coming up.
Boy, that's pretty close. Another breaking pitch from Wojciechowski, and apparently RC able to hold up.
This is from the dugout, from the inside position of the dugout. Woo!
Yeah,
that could have gone either way.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, we're looking at it from an extreme angle down inside the dugout, but Brewers may have caught a break right there. First and third now, one away. Now the go-ahead run is on. Here comes Aguilar, the Brewers' best pinch hitter. Arcia started, then stopped, and a breaking ball for a strike from Wojciechowski.
Man, Wojciechowski takes a while to get rid of it, but Tucker Barnhart, outstanding throwing out base runners, 45%. So you better get a good jump.
Aguilar had a good cut, fouls it back. 0-2 the count on Jesus. He has 15 pinch hits this year. He's 15 for 51 off the bench. Only Ichiro with more hits as a pinch hitter this season. Ichiro has been in that role more often than Aguilar, who gets occasional starts at first base. He's had 3 home runs off the bench as well this season. He's up there in a big spot right now. First and third, one away. And the 0-2 pitch, Aguilar fouls it away. That was a big fastball from Wojciechowski.
After a couple of breaking pitches, doing a good job as Aguilar fighting that one off. That was a strike too. Borderline on the inside corner, too close to take.
To the count. Long pause and a swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. Aguilar strikes out, and it is still first and third. Now 2 men are out. Just challenged him with the heat.
Yep, fastball outer half. Good pitch to hit, but back of his mind he's thinking slider, 95 down the middle.
So 2 gone, back to the top of the order. Here is Sogard now. Sogard is 0 for 3. Inside a ball.
Sogard does such a good job putting the ball in play. And they're giving him a lot of room in the hole between third and short. He likes to use that hole over there.
Two on, 2 gone for the Brew Crew. And Sogard takes ball 2. Wojciechowski began the season with the Diamondbacks. He was in spring training with Arizona. Got released late in the spring. And then the Reds signed him 3rd week of April. Signed him to a minor league contract. Sent him to AAA Louisville. And has been up and down between Louisville and Cincinnati. He's pitching in some big moments right now. 2-0 to Sogard. That one's in there, a strike. Brewers finally scratch a run here in the 7th inning. Vogt with an RBI double. Sogard trying to deliver in the clutch. Brewers need a big hit. 2-1 Reds. 2-1 count on Sogard. Runner goes, and Barnhart fumbles it behind the plate, and Arcia will end up at second base. That'll be a stolen base for Arcia. Now a base hit. The Brewers could take the lead.
I don't think that's what the Brewers were looking for. They were looking for perhaps, one of those take off and stop halfway and allow Barry to use his speed. Look at Arcia. He's looking back. The ball's behind home plate. He's saying, okay, I guess I got to go to second.
Yeah,
trying to steal a run.
Getting the run down. Let Barry try to score. Well, it works out well for the Brewers now. Let's see if Sogard can deliver. A base hit. The Brewers could take the lead. 3-1 the count on Sogard. And it's ball 4. The bases are loaded. Now the Brewers a chance at a big inning here. There are 2 outs. And that's going to mean another visit to the mound by the Reds pitching coach, Mac Jenkins.
Yeah, about time the Brewers plate one of these walks issued by the Reds. They walked 7 in this game, and none of them have come around to score.
Greg Counsell trying to play small ball here in the 7th inning. No greater answer to small ball than a long ball right here.
Bases loaded again.
Brewers had him loaded in the 4th, could not score. Had him loaded with nobody out. Walker started that inning with a walk in the 4th inning. This is one of his bigger at-bats as a Brewer right here and now. 7th inning, down a run. Wojciechowski has given up 13 home runs in 18 games for the Reds. Pickoff play at second. Arcia is back.
How about throwing one into center field?
Walker with a pair of grand slams in his career.
Good numbers. 362.
Barry, Arcia, Sogard all with their leads, and Walker takes a strike.
This guy's been starting hitters with the slider. He's thrown a lot of them, but they haven't been really good sliders. A lot of them up in the zone. He's been able to get away with it so far.
Made 8 starts for the Reds this year, giving up a lot of hits. No balls and a strike on Walker, and that one's in there. Strike 2.
See where it ends up, right down the middle. But when you're looking fastball, that's a tough pitch to hit.
Give him credit. He's made 2 good pitches. What does he throw here? 0-2. 2 outs. And he got him. Struck him out with a fastball. Boy, the Brewers lead. The bases loaded again. They do get a run, though. Stephen Vogt drives home 1. 2-1 ball game as Walker strikes out with the bases full.
inning, and the Brewers return home for a 3-game set against the Pirates as they collide in the late season showdown at Miller Park. That's Monday, September 11th through Wednesday, the 13th. Check out the complete schedule and reserve your tickets today at Brewers.com.
Brewers do get a run, but they leave the bases loaded in the 7th inning, and a lot of changes here for Craig Counsell. Manny Pena will come in to catch after Vogt was pinch run for. Keon Broxton enters the game in center field, and the Brewers have a new pitcher on the mound. Jacob Barnes will take over a 2-1 ball game. The Reds lead it, bottom of the 7th inning.
And the Brewers need a scoreless inning here. He's been unscored upon in 8 of his last 9 appearances. Last pitched on Sunday against the Nationals and ate up 2 perfect innings. That included 4 strikeouts in the Brewers' victory against Washington.
Tucker Barnhart leads off for the Reds. Twice a strikeout victim tonight, and he hits that one hard in the right, a base hit. Well, as hard as it is to get a base hit for the Brewers, and Barnhart steps right up and delivers one to right field.
Yep, after a couple of strikeouts with Zach Davies out there. That's that cut fastball that stayed down the middle of the plate. Up in the zone, out of the reach of Sogard, and a leadoff base runner. The second leadoff hitter the Reds have been able to get on base.
Kivlahan will bat now. He came in on the double switch last inning. His first at bat. Reds got an unearned run in the 3rd. RBI single by Cozart. And then an RBI single by Suarez with 2 outs in the 6th inning off Davies. Brewers scored 1 last inning, or the top of this inning. Stephen Vogt with an RBI double. Pena catching his first inning. He and Vogt flip-flopped the other way yesterday. Pena started the game, and then Vogt came in. 2-0 to count on Kivlahan. And a strike right on the outside corner. 2-1.
And Brewers with 4 catchers available tonight. You got Susac, you got Bandy. A lot of flexibility behind home plate.
Swing and a miss. Big fastball right down the middle. Barnes was trying to hit the outside corner, but left that one middle. But at 98 miles an hour, and Kivlahan comes up empty.
Doesn't have to be perfect at that speed.
Room for error when you throw that hard. 2-2 to count now. And that's going to get by Pena, and the runner goes to second base. That'll be a wild pitch. Barnes is having trouble with his breaking ball now. Hung the first one. This one misses badly.
Yeah, that's never a good sign for Jacob, either hanging it or spiking it in the dirt. Well, now the Reds have another man in scoring position. Eliminates the possibility of the double play.
Full count to Kivlahan. And it's ball 4. Not a good start to the inning for Barnes. Does not have good command right now. Hopes to find it quickly. Well, this could get away from him quickly.
Yeah, it all begins and ends with the breaking pitch. The cutter. If he's able to throw that for strikes and get it close enough with 2 strikes to get swings, then he's going to be all right.
Counsell is on his way out, and I think he wants to talk a little defensive strategy here.
Thinking about a bunt attempt by Billy Hamilton. You might see him try to drop down a bunt.
Now, Barnes is a very good athlete, fields his position well. Gonna figure out what the plan might be. Hamilton is tough to handle. If he gets a good bunt down, he's hard to throw out at first base.
Yeah, sometimes the guys on base are easier to get out than Billy Hamilton when he drops down a bunt. You got to figure Craig Counsell is trying to draw something up to get that lead runner.
You got the All-Star Cozart due next. Joey Votto in the hold right now. Jacob Barnes in all kind of trouble here with 2 on and nobody out. Hamilton not bunting. He swings and fouls it back. Travis Shaw was crashing in from third base.
Yep, and Walker was creeping in from first.
That's got to be a little frightening.
Yeah.
Standing about 45 feet from home plate, he takes a full swing at it. Oh, 1 pitch. Hamilton does show bunt and takes it for a ball. Pretty good pitch there by Barnes. Didn't get the call this time.
Yeah, I think Brian Price was figuring Barnes, everybody thinking he's going to bunt, maybe throw one down the middle, maybe give Hamilton a chance to find a gap out there, but with 1 strike had him bunting.
1-1, and he swings again. It's 1-2 now. So now the Brewers can back it up a little bit. It's a very difficult hitter to turn 2 on. He'd have to hit one hard right at an infielder to even have a chance. And he does make a lot of outs in the air. Barnes could use a strikeout here. 2 on, nobody out. And Hamilton able to fight it off foul. Big fastball.
Yeah, he turned around a Josh Hader 97-mile-an-hour fastball to end the game yesterday. So he can get to the fastball when he's looking for it. This would be a perfect time to drop that cutter if he can get it close.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Barnhart at second, Kivlehan at first, and a swing and a miss.
There it is.
Good call, Rock. Got the cutter, and Hamilton strikes out. That was a perfectly placed pitch by Barnes.
Yeah, get it over the plate, down out of the strike zone, and you got a guy that's making contact on your 97, 98. I mean, that's a perfect pitch. Now get your double play ball.
Well, he'll have to face the All-Star Zach Cozart. He's got that batting average hovering around 300 this season. 299 with a 1-for-3 day today. Had an RBI single in the 3rd inning, a little jam shot to center field, bounced in front of VR. 1 gone, 2 on for the Reds after the Brewers just scored to make it a 1-run game.
Pretty good pitch there.
Cozart has made an out on the ground. He's made an out in the air to go along with that hit. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. The slider from Barnes. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Cozart. The dangerous Joey Votto due next. In there, strike 2, got the inside corner.
Everything
Cozart didn't like that one.
Well, everything he's thrown to Cozart has been a strike. Didn't get the first pitch called a strike, gets this one. First pitch was even better.
1-2 now. Barnes has Cozart in the hole. Wow, that was close too. Man, Barnes is just working the edges here. It's a 2-2 count.
Didn't get a call on Billy Hamilton when he was at the plate either.
Now the good news for Barnes, he's making his pitches now. See what he has in mind. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He in the dirt. Good block back there by Pena. Full count now. Whole lot riding on this one with Votto coming up next. That's the last guy you want to see at the plate with the bases loaded. At a lead single by Barnhart, then a walk to Kivlehan. Barnes knows he's got to make a big one here. Full count. Cozart fouls it off. Almost took out Votto in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, it did, right off the end of the bat. Pitch out of the zone. Last 3 pitchers have been cutters.
Do it again, another 3-2 pitch. And Cozart takes ball 4. The bases are loaded. Here comes Joey Votto now. Second walk of the inning for Barnes. And the moment of truth has arrived for the Brewers here tonight.
Yep, nobody getting loose in the bullpen. Craig Counsell just now getting on the phone. Wants the lefty, Wong.
One of the best hitters in the game, Joey Votto. Trying to deliver a knockout punch to the Brewers. Barnes hoping for that ground ball here. And he misses badly inside. Coming in to score is Barnhart. 3-1 Cincinnati.
Second wild pitch of the inning. There's been 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 wild pitches. And that one not even close. That cutter almost hit Votto all the way to the screen.
Badger Mutual insurance run of the game for the Reds.
Now you can walk Votto here.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He will. This has been a rough inning for Jacob Barnes when the Brewers needed a 0. Barnes has now walked 3, given up a hit. Bases are loaded once again. A couple of relievers trying to get loose as fast as they can. I'm not sure Hughes can get ready before Barnes faces Duvall here.
If Jeanette comes up, you'll see Wong. And then if he gets Jeanette, we'll see what happens from there. But double barrel action. The Brewers have plenty of arms down in that bullpen. Start the game with 11 relievers.
So it's going to be Barnes against Duvall. Brewers are hoping Barnes can find it quickly. It's a good start. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Duvall has already bounced into a double play tonight. He bounced into a double play with the bases loaded yesterday. Can they squeeze one more ground ball out of this guy? 0-2 the count.
Right down the middle, and he gave him a little extra that time. 98.
There's a little anger behind those two fastballs.
Yeah, nice to be able to, go to that when you're in trouble.
Oh, 0-2 the count on Duvall. Back to the heat. Duvall fouls it away. Brewers finally break through for a run of the 7th. The Reds quickly answer and threatening for more here with 1 out. Oh, 0-2 the count. 1-2 now.
All fastballs. Cutter time. You wonder if Barnes is unwilling to throw it. He might throw it to the screen.
He gets a lot of ground balls with that cutter. That was the same pitch that he threw to the screen with Votto at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Duvall did bite on it. .31 homers, 91 driven in for Duvall. He's had a huge year again after an all-star season last season. Big spot, 3-1 Reds, 2-2 pitch, and Duvall sends one deep to left. Braun feeling for the wall, makes the catch. A run will come in to score, and a long loud out by Duvall. It is now 4-1 Reds. Second run in for the inning.
And did a good job, did Adam Duvall, getting a bat on it. Fastball. Well, he had it down on the end of the bat a little bit. That's why it stayed in the ballpark. Pitch up and in. Nearly hit it out of here.
Counsell is going to take the ball from Jacob Barnes. Tough outing for Jacob, giving up 2 runs. And in comes Wong, who will face Scooter Gennett, lefty on lefty matchup. But he's run into some trouble here lately. Got to start to wonder if the innings are starting to creep up on Barnes. Does not have his normal command, and he gives up a couple of runs on 3 walks and a hit. 2 outs in the inning. Counsell makes a pitching change. He's going to go for a matchup, lefty on lefty. Wei Chung Wong is on to pitch. He'll face Jeanette.
He got called up on Friday from AAA Colorado Springs. Had a really good season down there. 47 games, 6-2 record at 205 earned run average. We saw Wong on Saturday against the Nationals, retired the only batter that he faced, a stranded inherited runner.
Two on with 2 out for Jeanette.
There's been a lot going on in this 7th inning, has there not, for both teams? Brewers had a long top, and now the Reds have had a very long bottom of the 7th.
Wong has built himself up after a year in the big leagues when he was a Rule 5 pick from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brewers had to keep him in the major leagues an entire season, even though at the time he was only 21 years of age. That was back in 14. And once he made it through the season, he then becomes property of the Brewers, and he went down to A-ball to restart his development. And here he is 3 years later, back in the big leagues after an excellent year at AAA. Had a 2.05 ERA at Colorado Springs. Jeanette sends one deep to right, and that one is gone. And a 3-run home run for Scooter Jeanette. Might have just put this one to bed.
Well, 3 of the walks in this inning have all come around to score. Scooter Jeanette with a 3-run home run on a fastball up out over the plate, and a no-doubter into right center.
Seven to 1 Cincinnati as Jeanette hits his 24th. Well, what a brutal inning for the Brewers here in the 7th. Scratch to score a run to get within a run in the 7th. And the Reds coming back with a 5-run 7th inning. This is the 8th batter of the inning. Eugenio Suarez ahead in the count with 2 away. Four of the 5 runs belong to Barnes tonight. Count stays at 2-2. And a swing and a miss to end the inning. Damage done though. Cincinnati puts a 5 spot on the board against the Brewer bullpen. It is now 7-1 as we go to the 8th. The wounds a little bit after the Brewers give up a 5 spot to the Reds in the 7th. And trying to keep pace with the Cubs, but an opportunity maybe to pick up a game. Got a little baseball to be played. We'll see if the Brewers can strike oil here in Cincinnati in these last 2 innings. Ariel Hernandez will be on the pitch for the Redlegs.
Yeah, he's made 1 appearance since being called up. He was a September call-up. He appeared in the 8th inning on Sunday at Pittsburgh and actually struck out the side to help the Cincinnati Reds. 11 appearances and earned run average near 5.
Ryan Braun leads off, and first ball swinging. 97-mile-an-hour heat. Jose Peraza comes into play second after Jeanette delivers a 3-run bomb. Reds tighten up their defense with Peraza. I would imagine that is sweet vindication for Scooter Jeanette, having the kind of year he is having, to hit a 3-run home run against the team that gave up on him.
Against the lefty, he's hit now 4 home runs against left-handed pitching this year. So he's getting the job done both against right-handers and lefties. Hernandez trying to throw the breaking pitch and just kind of spins up there.
Two and 1 to Braun. 2-2 now. This was such a concerning series between the 2 big series, the 4 games against the division leaders, the Nationals, and then the 3 games on the road against the team you're chasing in your division, the Cubs.
Playing so well coming into this series. Dodgers, Cardinals, Nationals. And in last place, Cincinnati Reds looking to take the first 2 games of this series.
Yeah, day off Thursday, that 3-game set with the Cubs, then a quick homestand, 3 against Pittsburgh, before the Brewers are right back on the road through Miami and Pittsburgh. Got the hurricane that is moving through the Atlantic right now, that is supposed to hit South Florida perhaps Monday, so that will be a very scary storm to follow. You wonder what will happen with the Brewers Marlins series if it does in fact hit Miami. Hopefully it will calm down. It's been a Category 5 hurricane as of last note, as Braun draws the walk to start the 8th inning.
Third baseman Travis Shaw.
Travis Shaw now with Braun at first.
Yeah, this is the 4th time that Hernandez has been with the Reds. He's been up and down now 4 times, had good numbers down in AAA. Hard thrower, but seems to be having a difficult time throwing strikes tonight.
Runner goes. Braun is in there with a stolen base.
And take it if they're going to give it to you. Reds have turned 3 double plays tonight, so you don't have to worry about that. The conventional double play, number 9 for Braun.
2-1 to Travis Shaw. Hits that one deep into right center field. That is not coming back. 2-run bomb by Shaw. And the Brewers cut into that deficit a little bit. It is now 7-3 as Shaw bangs out number 28.
And no doubter right there. That was on a 2-1 pitch. Way back out there into right center. Here it is. Fastball right down the heart of the plate, and Travis able to center on it. Drives it out of here deep, and no doubter. Now tied with Eric Thames for the team lead in homers.
Career year for Shaw, number 28 on the season for Travis. Here's Santana now. Takes a ball inside. Brewers down 4 now. Two and 1 to Santana. Had a double in the 7th, scored a run. This was a pitcher's duel leading up to the bottom of the 7th inning. Been home run derby since. Brewers would love to keep that going a little bit.
They get a couple of men on. Somebody hit another one out of here. See what happens.
If there was a bullpen to come back on, it would be the Reds. They've had their struggles. But at some point, you're going to run into Iglesias if it gets to that point. He's one of the best arms going right now in the big leagues.
Yeah, he pitched in yesterday's ball game. Picked up the win, pitched a scoreless 9th. Whew,
close
that
pitch.
Pretty good, yeah.
Full count to Santana. Nobody out. 2 runs are in here on the Shaw homer. And Santana down the right field line, foul. Jeff gave you the update on the Cubs. They lose to the Pirates tonight. The other team the Brewers are chasing, the Colorado Rockies.
Iglesias getting up right now, early.
Rockies are up 2-1 on the Giants in the 5th inning. That's at Coors Field. Full count. That's inside, ball 4. First 3 batters have reached. Brewers are inching their way back. That's what it looks like right now in the wild card race. Brewers are a game and a half back of Colorado and that 2-1 lead in the 5th. Cardinals later tonight in San Diego. They've moved to within 1 in the loss column to the Brewers. And then the Diamondbacks, who have won 11 in a row in Los Angeles tonight. They'll be underway momentarily. Another trip to the mound for the Reds pitching coach, Mac Jenkins.
He has beaten a path out to that mound, dug out the mound this year. Been a rough season on the mound, but I'll tell you, it's early to get Iglesias up. We're talking 8th inning. He pitched yesterday. They're trying to keep an eye on his innings. They are not messing around with this one. There he is.
Squash a rally in this inning if need be, and then take your chances in the 9th. We'll see. Brewers would love nothing more than to get in a position where Price feels like he has to use Iglesias. Here's Eric Thames. He'll pinch hit.
Doesn't look like he's in any hurry to get loose down in that pen. One more base run, it becomes a save situation.
Thames rips one foul. Brewers are getting some good cuts here on Hernandez.
Well, you don't have to worry about the breaking pitch. He hasn't even come close with a slider yet. You don't have to worry about that pitch, so just tee off on the fastball. Get that bat started early.
Well, Thames has company now at the top of the home run leaderboard for the Brewers, with Shaw hitting number 28. It's been a while since Thames went deep. He's been in a bit of a home run drought here lately. He's at 10 against the Reds this season. 10 of his 28 home runs coming against the same team. Thames' last home run was back on the 29th of August. He homered against Luke Weaver.
Can't imagine the Reds are going to be messing around too much longer with Hernandez. Hasn't shown the ability to throw strikes. Big lead. That's a surefire way to get yourself out of a game. Start walking guys with a lead.
2-1. Thames takes ball 3. Well, here's an action pitch coming. You know, Thames is sitting on a dead red fastball. But the Brewers need base runners. Got Pena coming up next. Three and 1 the count. And Thames takes ball 4. First 4 batters have reached 3 walks and a homer. 2 on now with nobody out. And in comes Pena and out comes Price.
Yeah, Brian Price was trying to get through this game without using his winning scenario bullpen guy, Lorenzen, Storen, Iglesias, but now he's bringing on Iglesias for the second consecutive game. Not able to throw strikes with a 5-run lead.
8th inning, Brewers within 4. Got a little something going here in the 8th now. Hernandez on his way out. Pitching change in Cincinnati. Electric arm. 24 saves on the year for Iglesias. And he is on to face Manny Pena with nobody out.
It is a save situation if he ends up finishing this game. He had a 3-up, 3-down inning yesterday against the Brewers, picked up a win. That included a couple of strikeouts.
Pena on the first pitch pulls it foul. Iglesias has allowed 4 home runs this season. His numbers are stellar across the board. 67 plus innings. He's only given up 48 hits. He has 83 punch-outs in 67 innings.
Yeah, just nasty stuff. I mean, he throws hard. He's got different arm angles. Got a great breaking pitch. That slide to a right-hander is very tough.
And there's that slider, buckles the knees of Pena, and it's 0-2.
Not just the action on the pitch, it's the release point. against righties.
First at bat for Pena, came into the game defensively. Reds got 5 in the bottom of the 7th. Brewers have put 2 on the board here in the top half. And Pena sends one to left field. A top spin liner going to be caught by Duvall.
Not too bad. Hit it well. Little bit on the end. Kept it in the ballpark.
First out of the inning as Pena lines out.
That was a hanger right there. I mean, that said hit me all over it. Pena able to put a good swing on it. And as you mentioned, kind of a top spin liner out there. Didn't have that backspin.
Here's Arcia now. Hit a 3-run game tying home run yesterday. He's up with 2 on. Brewers down 4. And he hits a shot right to second base for an out. Boy, bad luck for Arcia. Hit a bullet right to Peraza. Second out of the inning. 2 line drive outs. And Iglesias is an out away from getting out of this inning.
Can't hit any better than that. A young man able to hit a bullet to second. Fastball, he was waiting for it. He likes that first pitch. Right at Peraza. He doesn't have to move.
Tough break for Arcia. So 2 outs. Here's Brett Phillips now pinch hitting. September call up, had a big year in AAA, one of the top outfield prospects in the Brewers system.
Left-handers have had better luck against Iglesias. Lefties hitting around 260.
Phillips hit 19 homers in AAA this year. He had a monster year. 305 average, 19 homers, 78 RBIs. He's been up and down with the Brewers on a few occasions. And a swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. Phillips made his big league debut on June 5th against the Giants. Now 19 games in the big leagues. He's got a moment in front of him. He can put the Brewers right back into this one.
Yeah, before he got sent down the last time, he was really starting to figure it out at this level. I mean, swinging the bat well, playing good defense, hit a couple of homers.
4 different stints in the big leagues for Phillips. Two balls and a strike. 2 on for the Brewers. 2 outs. Phillips a swing and a miss. 2-2 now. Got Santana and Thames aboard. Both walked. 2-2 to Phillips. Iglesias deals, and it's up and away. Ball 3.
Not a walk here.
Screws would tighten for sure if Phillips could reach. You'd have Sogard coming up.
Representing the tying run.
Needs 1 mistake or 1 ball. Full count. Runners go. Phillips pulls 1 foul. Spoiled a good one. 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
But it was down in the zone. That allows Phillips to get a piece of it. Those fastballs up. Tough to make contact.
Phillips only 23 years of age. He's part of a group of outfielders among the best prospect group in all of baseball. Most of them are center fielders. Do it again. Another payoff. 3-2, 2 outs, and Phillips takes a call at strike 3. dropped a breaking ball on him. Iglesias 3 up, 3 down after the Brewers scored twice and had 2 on. He's the best they got. And Price puts him in the game to put the blanket on it. Jeff, I love that show. WKRP in Cincinnati. You got to Google that one. There's a whole generation doesn't know anything about that sort of television.
Yeah, we stay right by that fountain.
Carlos Torres on the mound for the Brewers. He's trying to make this a quick bottom of the 8th inning, and then let's see if the Brewers can come up with something in the 9th. They did score twice in the 8th, so it's a 4-run game.
A lot of work for Torres again this year, 59 appearances.
And a base hit by Peraza, his first at bat. And the Reds started out with a single, and we were rolling through this game through 6 innings and hardly any offense to speak of. It was a 2-1 game, a 2-0 game. And then all these runs are coming in the last 2 innings. Look at those changes. Phillips in center. You got Sogard moving over to short, Walker to second, Thames at first, and Torres is on the mound. September baseball. Tucker Barnhart now with a man on. There goes the runner. Pena's throw to second is late. Stolen base.
Only Billy Hamilton has more stolen bases for the Reds than Peraza. You know, no chance for Manny Pena. Big jump, had a good lead, and even a perfect throw is not going to be in time.
Number 19 for Peraza. Came into the game to play second after Jeanette hit a 3-run home run in the 7th inning. Broken bat, And on a hop out to Sogard. There is out number 1. Peraza has to hold his ground at second. That's gotta hurt, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that just sounded like it imploded.
They don't hurt as much if they end up as base hits. But a jam shot like that, you make it out. Yeah.
Look where this gets him.
Cutter.
Yeah,
just eats him up inside, and
his hands are destroyed. He looked down to see if his hands were still attached to his arms.
yeah, I think he broke his bat, did he not?
Kiblahan at the plate with a runner at second and 1 away. This is his second plate appearance. He walked his first time. Brewers are going to have Matt Garza on the mound tomorrow. Final game of the series, and what will be a most important start for him. Day game tomorrow, a matinee to finish this series. There's a base hit to right. Peraza is going to hold at third. And it's a single for Kiblahan. 2 on, first and third with 1 away. Don't forget, tomorrow we're on the air at 11 a.m. in the Central Time Zone. Luis Castillo against Matt Garza. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Figure Garza may be running out of chances in the rotation. He is hoping to make the most out of that one tomorrow to keep himself in the rotation. Billy Hamilton will bat with runners at the corners. Infield is in for the Brewers. And Hamilton drops a bunt down. Thames to first in time for the out. It's a safety squeeze. Another run is in for the Reds to make it 8-3. RBI for Hamilton. And the Reds are up 5.
I'd give him a sacrifice and an RBI for Billy Hamilton. That'll be a sacrifice, a 3-4 sacrifice. RBI. So no time at bat and a run batted in.
Cozart now with 2 outs. Got a runner at second. And a strike. A 5-run 7th for the Reds. Now they've added 1 here in the 8th. The last 5 frames, 2.5 innings of play. There have been 10 runs scored. It was 1-0 going into the 6th inning. One of the strengths of the Brewers this season and during this impressive run here has been their bullpen.
Just a bad day for Jacob Barnes. That's only way you can really look at it. But the Brewers go on to lose this game. They're down by 5. They will be kicking themselves, particularly from that 4th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, not able to score. They had opportunities.
Brewers had 5 strikeouts as an offense with the bases loaded tonight.
And once again, I mean, the Brewers have relied so heavily on the pitching since the beginning of the 2nd half of the season. Offense needs to take the pressure off them a little bit. Nobody knows that better than the hitters.
2-2 to Cozart. Count goes full. And a base hit to center field. Going to send the runner, no play. In to scores Kiblahan. Reds have added 2 more here in the 8th. RBI single for Cozart. 9-3 Cincinnati. That'll bring up Joey Votto now. Votto's had a good night. 2 hits. Had a walk. He scored. And he's up there with a runner at first. This is usually a spot where Votto's trying to hit one of the seats.
Well, he might give himself maybe 1 or 2 swings, then he'll kind of regroup a little bit. Never gives up an at bat.
One ball, 1 strike on Votto. Staying up in the zone on Votto. It's 1-2 now. On the ground, right to Thames, and he'll take it to the bag. Side retired, but the Reds score 2 more, and they lead it 9-3. We go to the 9th. Last call for the Brewers coming up. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin tonight. Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Well, Brewers hit the 9th. They are now down 6, 9-3 after the Reds scored twice in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Iglesias on to try to finish this one off. It is a save situation for him.
Surprised they're leaving him in. This probably means he probably won't be able to pitch tomorrow. Inning yesterday, 2 innings today. So they did exactly what you were saying last inning. Get him in there. I haven't pitched 3 innings in 2 days and probably will not be able to use him tomorrow.
Yeah, might be a couple of days off for Iglesias. Well, he did the job. There's Sogard, a fly ball right field. That's fairly deep. And this one's going to be caught in foul territory. Sogard is out. First out of the inning.
Brewers have hit him pretty hard in this game. I mean, it did have the strikeout to Phillips, but you know, Pena lined out, Arcia lined out, and you know, Sogard gave that one a pretty good ride down the line. For a guy that has as many strikeouts as he has this year.
One away, Neil Walker coming up. 2 walks, 2 Ks for Walker tonight. A slow roller foul. Oh-2 to Walker, and a fastball high. This guy's got star power written all over him, Iglesias. Brian Price didn't hesitate to use him just as the Brewers were trying to pick themselves up. Came on with 2 on and nobody out and 2 runs in.
That's what he does. That's what makes him a closer. You would have thought with the 2 runs that the Reds scored in the bottom of the inning, probably would have seen somebody else come in, but yeah, Brian Price must want this one pretty badly.
Well, Iglesias does have 24 saves. He has a number of multi-inning saves. That's been his calling card. And it's something you can do when you're a team like the Reds this year, and they're not in contention, so they can be very disciplined and diligent with how they use him. He never goes more than 2 days in a row. And when he goes the multi-inning saves, as he strikes out Walker. 2 outs in the inning. And the Brewers an out away from a very disappointing start to this series in Cincinnati with 1 to play tomorrow. This game will humble you in a hurry, won't it? Think about the 4-run inning yesterday. The Brewers got a homer from Braun, a 3-run home run from Arcia. It was all looking up. That was in the 7th inning. And then with 1 swing of Billy Hamilton's bat, the whole complexion of this series changed.
Yeah. The Brewers were feeling pretty good about where they were as far as, you know, the bullpen matchups as the game went on yesterday, and just not able to muster enough runs for Zach Davies tonight.
0-1 to Braun. 0-2 now. Brewers down to their last strike. On the ground, this is Peraza. He's got it. And the Reds have won the first 2 in this series. And another save for Iglesias. Number 25 for the 27-year-old Cuban. 9-3 the final score. It's time for Brewers Live. Jeff Grayson is standing by in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios. Jeff?